Hey, good morning. Timothy Darrell Young, BSMPA. Um, I wanted to talk briefly about vote by mail in Oregon, Governor Brown, and democracy. Some years ago, many years ago, I noticed that of a lot of the documents that you get from the state government, the postage is paid. It's a bulk mail purchase, and when you send back forms to the state government, you often don't have to buy a stamp. Relatively inexpensive, convenient, and people are more likely to turn in their paperwork for sure if it's self-addressed. The statistics on that have been observed for many, many years, if not by perpetrators, democratic activists and observers. Anyways, I noticed one of the most important documents we have in our Oregon democracy didn't have postage on it. When in Oregon, for those that don't know, we vote by mail. When we have elections, we get ballots in the mail. You fill out who you want to vote for, which measure you want to vote for, and then you return it into the state government. There's like drop-off boxes in neighborhoods and stuff like that. But for some reason, since it's to depress voter turnout, and Republicans would have a huge interest in making sure that voter turnout is low. Some of the general word on the street wisdom about elections is that if there's a higher turnout in America, it tends to favor the blue party or the Democrats. Anyways, many years ago, I noticed that there was no postage on the ballots that we mailed back. And I was like, that's wrong. People are less likely to turn in their ballots if there's no postage. So I did everything I could as an unaware TI who thought he was just crazy, but still working on solving other people's problems. I wrote a small piece for the Oregonian detailing my perspective on it and advocating for postage on the ballots. I contacted Kate Brown. At that time, she was the Secretary of State. I thought she was one of the more appropriate people to talk about it. I may have talked to some other state legislators or something like that many, many years ago. And I got the bureaucratic hoof dragging, the Satanism roadblocks, the punk bitches working in Kate Brown's staff back then that I wanted to throttle by the fucking neck. They were so disrespectful. I was mad at Kate. I was mad at her staff. And then I just dropped it and worked on other stuff. I mean, obviously, I'm really fucking busy. If you know my waking schedule, fending off EMF perps and then thinking about solving other people's problems. Anyways, I hated Kate's staff after that. And I hated Kate. And nothing ever got done about it. I've seen now in some of the recordings of the public discourse, the Oregonian, before social media, traditionally the journal that people read to, figure out what's going on with social problems. Richard Devlin, who's a great, brilliant man and a legislator. He's been in Salem for a number of years. He represented Lake Oswego, where I grew up. I mean, this guy's really good. I saw some stuff in the Oregonian. He advocating for the same thing, getting postage on the mail. Now, this is like a couple of $1 million. Like, we spend billions of dollars in every cycle. It's not that big of an expense. What they have to surmount is the entrenched Republican interest to depress voter turnout. They have huge interest in making sure that the ballots don't get postage, so fewer people vote, so more of their idiot genome can get in this legislature and gum things up. Recently, many, many, many years later, after I just left it, I'm just like, you have pissed me off on that. I'm not going to even fucking help you anymore. I'm trying to get you to do the right thing, and you drag your feet like I'm taking you to a fucking slaughterhouse. I was so pissed at Governor Kate Brown's staff and Kate. I didn't talk to her, I don't think even directly at that point about this. I was so angry. Upshot, silver lining. It still hasn't been done in 2019, but recently, now Kate Brown is governor. I saw her in the Oregonian in a huge article that got statewide views. She's now in the position of governor advocating for this very same issue. And she's got years now of people taking out positions in the legislature and in the local press. Like, yeah, we need to do this. We need to do this. So it may have been her being more savvy and understanding all of like the sharks in the water and stuff like that. I don't hate Kate and I don't hate her staff anymore. But at at those moments, I was so frustrated. I mean, it was night and day to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This is repressing voter turnout. I mean, we mail out so much shit to people from state government, and you won't pay for the postage of the fucking ballot that legitimizes all of their governance? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It pissed me off so much. But on the upshot, Governor Brown is in the news in the last month advocating for putting postage on the ballot envelopes. It would be less than like $2 million or something like that, I think, per election. I don't know. She may have more of the details of it, but very slow to turn. And I had wheels of progress. I had a professor tell me in my Master's of Public Administration coursework, nobody likes change but a baby with a dirty diaper. So this is an example of entropy, organizational foot dragging, and then possibly likely now that she's governor, success. She may have not been able to accomplish it as Secretary of State, but if it's going to take a vote of the legislature, I mean, she can sign it because she's the governor. So there may be hope for cleaning up the nuts and bolts of our democracy in Oregon yet because of Kate Brown and her being persistent. I mean, and she's dealing with all this other shit all the time as governor. Like, I'm very thankful that finally, after so many years, when she's in a position of the highest office in the land, that Kate and I agree again. Or Governor Brown. We've met a few times. She may not know who the hell I am, but I respect her leadership and I respect that move immensely. And I want to thank Richard Devlin and all the other state legislators, young people, old people that saw the same thing on those ballots. Like, why do we not have postage on our ballots? Like, what the? It seems so common sense. Anyways, congratulations to Kate Brown for taking this up again, and I hope it gets passed before the next election. Seems like basic stuff.